A Tale of Two Cities is a novel by Charles Dickens set in London and Paris, before and during the French Revolution. The novel tells the story of Charles Darnay, a French aristocrat, and Sydney Carton, a drunken lawyer, and their relationships with Lucie Manette, a French woman who has been imprisoned in the Bastille for 18 years. The novel begins in 1775, with the protagonist, Charles Darnay, living in Paris with his wife, Lucie Manette, and their young daughter, little Lucie. Charles is a French aristocrat and former emigrant, while Lucie is the daughter of Dr. Manette, a physician who was imprisoned in the Bastille for 18 years. Despite their differences in social class, Charles and Lucie are deeply in love and devoted to each other. As the French Revolution begins to gain momentum, Charles becomes increasingly aware of the danger that he and his family face as members of the aristocracy. Despite this, he remains committed to his principles and refuses to flee the country. Instead, he decides to stay and work for the betterment of the common people. Meanwhile, Sydney Carton, a drunken lawyer and the novel's secondary protagonist, is deeply in love with Lucie, but he knows that he is unworthy of her affections. Nevertheless, he remains devoted to her and is willing to do anything to protect her and her family. As the revolution becomes more violent, Charles and Lucie are forced to flee to England, where they live in safety for several years. However, as the Reign of Terror begins in France, they are forced to return to Paris to rescue Dr. Manette, who has been imprisoned once again. As the novel comes to a close, Charles and Lucie are once again in danger, and it is up to Sydney Carton to save them. In a selfless act of love, Carton takes Charles's place at the guillotine, sacrificing his own life so that Charles and Lucie can live in safety. Throughout the novel, Dickens explores themes of love, sacrifice, and the consequences of revolution. The characters of Charles, Lucie, and Sydney are complex and well-developed, and their relationships with each other are both touching and tragic. A Tale of Two Cities is a classic novel that has stood the test of time, and its themes and characters continue to resonate with readers today.